This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Martin Foradori, Hofstätter, who is joining us all the way from the very north of Italy. How are you today, sir?
Oh, fine. Definitely from the warm Alto Adige. I'm here in Toronto with a little bit of fresher climate and I really enjoy it.
Well, thank you for joining us today at LBS in Toronto. And we've just been tasting through a few of your wines, and they've been most wonderful to have with the lunch that we had today. For those people unfamiliar with your winery, please tell us a little bit about the wines that you make.
So, Hofstätter is a family-owned winery in fourth generation, which is me. The fifth generation is studying enology in Germany, started last week.
Nice.
Hopefully he will finish soon so I can retire.
Okay.
Kidding. Hofstätter is a family-owned winery based in the region Alto Adige. And we are also one of the biggest wineries in Alto Adige, but when I say big, I don't mean bottles that we do, but vineyard land that we own.
Right.
So Alto Adige is a very tiny vineyard place. The whole production of Alto Adige is less than 1% of the Italian production.
Oh, I didn't realize
And
that.
the average property of a vintner in Alto Adige in vineyard land is 8,000 square meters. So to have the privilege and the honor to cultivate vines on 50 hectares, this is a lot. And when it comes to the varieties, my main varieties are Gewürztraminer. The winery itself is based in the village Tramin. So there's a strong connection to this variety. And the other most important variety in my winery is Pinot Noir, where we have a very strong history with that variety because the first owner of the estate where we grow our Pinot there, he introduced 160 years ago Pinot there.
You also make some Pinot Bianco, which I thought was really quite wonderful.
Yeah, Pinot Bianco is one of my beloved white varieties. It's a variety where we have a lot of history in Alto Adige, but unfortunately for the Pinot Bianco, in the 70s and 80s, the Chardonnay wave started.
Oh, yes.
Then in the 90s, the Pinot Grigio wave started. And honestly, we forgot a little bit our Pinot Bianco. But now, thanks to the work of a little bit everybody in Alto Adige, Pinot Bianco is finding his own path. I'm very happy about this because again, Pinot Bianco is reflecting that what Alto Adige is. It's a variety with a lot of not only history, but a variety who grows perfectly in Alto Adige, a variety with a lot of minerality. And we do Pinot Bianco in two different ways. The classic way, the more easy drinking Pinot Bianco. And then when it comes to my single vineyard, we age it in big oak barrels on the lees, who gives the wine a complete different structure.
Do you feel that Pinot Bianco's day is going to arrive sometime soon? Do you think it will ever achieve the worldwide fame of a grape like Pinot Grigio?
Probably not. Probably not because in Europe, where they grow Pinot Bianco, there is a little bit in Austria, a little bit in Alsace in France, a little bit in Germany, and most of the Pinot Bianco is grown in Alto Adige. Okay, there is a little bit in Friuli too, but with this I want to say that there is not a lot of Pinot Bianco around.
Right.
And the market, unfortunately or not, on a certain way I have to say fortunately, the demand of Pinot Grigio is still high, and I hope that it will remain like this for the next decades too. But again, there is no critical mass of Pinot Bianco in the world. So Pinot Bianco will always remain in a certain way a wine for a little niche.
Right. And we are just about to taste a varietal that is, I guess it's kind of new to me. I've heard of it before, but never tasted it. An indigenous varietal to your region.
Yeah, this is a variety named Lagrein, a red variety. Grown in Alto Adige since ever. The origin is probably from the very south. And the scientists are saying that there is a strong connection to the Syrah.
Huh.
Personally, I have a love and hate with this variety.
Okay.
Love because it's indigenous, it's typically from Alto Adige. The hate is because when it comes to the vinification, to the cellar work, the risk to over-extract the Lagrein is very high. So Lagrein has a lot of tannins, and especially when in the cellar we punch down too much, when we pump around too much during the fermentation, the risk is high to over-extract this
Right,
wine.
right.
So my personal philosophy on the Lagrein is less you do, better it is. Or in other words, it's a minimum interventing winemaking.
Okay, that's very zeitgeisty, I
Exactly.
suppose. Yeah. And we were talking earlier about what kind of clones. I'm always interested in the kind of clones that are planted in northern Italy when it comes to Pinot Nero, Pinot Noir. And you gave me quite an interesting story about that.
That what we planted in the last 30, maximum 40 years were mostly the French clones.
Right.
113, 114, 115, 667, 777.
The usual suspects.
Exactly,
Yes.
the usual suspects. But I have a planting of 1942, which goes back to my grandfather. And the only thing what I know about this vineyard is that those are my best grapes, but I have no idea which clone it is.
Right.
So 20 years ago I started to do my own selection out of this vineyard, and I planted my first vineyard with this selection 5 years ago.
Okay.
So I have my own Pinot vineyard now, and I hope that this vineyard in a few years, I say few years because a young vineyard delivers good quality,
Yes.
but high quality you will have it after 15, 20 more years. And of course the hope is that this young vineyard sooner or later will deliver the same quality as the mother vineyard from 1942.
Superb. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to taste with us today, and for a wonderful lunch. That was great.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully I'll have the chance to visit your region sometime soon, as it's one of the only Italian regions I haven't been to.
You have to, because don't believe in anything what I told you right now. Come to visit me and touch by your hand with your hands.
Okay. Thank you very much, and bye
You're
for
welcome.
now.
Thank you.